So welcome everyone. Welcome for those who's watching us through the internet. It's a pleasure to have all of you here. As usual, let's do our initial prayer. And Raquel will do the reading and initial prayer. And just after that, Sandra will come and do the lecture on the moral influence of mediums. Okay? Thank you.
Good morning to you too.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Wow, so excited. I like that.
I forgot to say good morning.
Yeah, I know. It's like too late already. Almost noon. It's like good afternoon. So we're going to read a passage from The Happy Life. When a man decides to modify his moral conduct for the better, he seems to face a general conspiracy against his desire for improvement. Everything changes and is out of control. The least little things become complicated, and the rhythm of everything changes for the worse for some time. This state of affairs leads the person who would improve himself to retreat and give up. Every transference modifies what is usual. In the area of moral actions, the reaction is the greater because one is penetrating to the root of evil to cut it out. This leads to the growth of new and balanced customs. Do not abandon your goals of morality and inner growth because of the first difficulties you encounter. So let's now elevate our thoughts to our Master Jesus and all the beloved friends that are present here today with us. Let's ask them to open our minds and our hearts for the lecture that Sandra will bring to us, that we may absorb as much as we can in order to improve a little bit more today, to become better than we were yesterday. Let's ask them to enlighten Sandra so that she may be able to give everything that is inside her mind to us. Thank you, so be it. Sandra?
Thank you, Raquel. Thank you, Márcio. Welcome, everybody. Huh? Oh, my coach here is saying, speak louder. Is everybody hearing me?
Yes.
Perfect. Welcome, everybody that is present here today. Today is a beautiful, gorgeous day outside, but you chose to be here. So I'm guessing the light is also here with us. Welcome our viewers from the Fabi TV. That are following our lecture today. So throughout this month, we've been talking about mediums and mediumship. And I'm guessing you got a lot of information. And today, we'll be talking more specifically in the practice of mediumship and the moral influence of mediums. So how is this, how the mediums and the spirits influence each other? So I'm very glad that some of the mediums from our mediumship groups are here, because I think this is very, very important. But also, it's not valid only for mediums, right? Because we are all spirits, and in any case, we all attract spirits close to us. And hi, welcome. And if you think about it, how does this happen? How we get close to certain people and not close to other people? It has to do with what? With affinity, right? With taste, with somebody. I like someone because they are from the same town, or because they are from the same country, we have a lot of things in common, or because we like the same kind of music, or because we go through this to the same group, of a religious group, or because our kids play together, and they are on the same school. So we have some kind of affinity. We have something in common with these people. And when we are close to them, we feel good. We feel, oh, this is so nice to be with that person. It's nice to be in that place. Or it's nice to exchange some ideas. So there is this affinity. There is this easiness that we have between each other. So the same thing happens between the spirit and the medium. It needs to have some kind of affinity between the medium and the spirit for the spirit to for the medium to be attracted by certain spirits. So today we're going to be talking about how the moral influence of the mediums attract some kind of spirits, and how also the ambience, the place that the spirits communicate, and more specifically the Spiritist groups, how they also affect the influence of this, the moral influence on the spirits that come to give bring some messages or enlightenment or whatever. So I think this is, where is the...
No, you don't need it, just press the button.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. So, can mediumship be considered a profession? What do you think? No. Do mediums need to be saints? No. Do good spirits only look for good mediums? Are mediums only instrument of the spirits? With this and more questions,
So you don't have to do the lecture.
I know, huh? So we're going to be responding some of these questions based on the Gospel according to Spiritism and also the Medium's book. These are two books that were codified by Allan Kardec. And also we will be talking about some questions that André Luiz brought that to us too. So let's see what the Gospel according to Spiritism says about this. Medium, of course, it is something sacred that must be practiced in a holy and religious manner. That's what the Gospel according to Spiritism says to us. It also says that mediumship could not be, nor will it ever be, a profession. Why? Why mediumship can't be a profession? Because it's something that is transitory. It's something that we have because we are being instrument of something that it doesn't belong to us. So if I bring a message, it's not me who is bringing that message, right? It's the spirit. So I can't count on the spirit. I can't say, hey, as Chico Xavier used to say, the phone doesn't ring from here to there. It rings from there to here. So I can't say, today I'm going to evoke my mother who passed away. Is that right? Maybe she's there, maybe she's not, maybe she's available to talk to me. It's like calling somebody and say, hey, can you just come here? No, I can't because I'm busy, or I'm out of town, or I'm working, or whatever reasons. It's the same thing. So we can't make that a profession. And the other thing is, we as human beings, we are so imperfect that if we try to have that as a profession, if we think that we can do that as a profession, what's going to happen? We're going to be asking for money, right? And when we ask for money, somebody is paying us. If my mother doesn't come, but I really wanted to hear my mother, and Marco Diniz knows that, oh, she's really keen hearing her mother. What I'm going to do, she's here, she's paying me. I'm going to have to give her something, right? So this is not a true communication anymore. It's coming from him, from the desire of helping me, feeling better. And this is for a good reason. And, but people would go to this, how do you call the psychics? They would go just to ask silly things, really, like, am I going to marry? When I'm going to find the man of my life? Or am I going to get this new job? Or whatever reasons. So we really have to think that what are the reasons that we, as medium in a spirit center, what are the reasons that we have this? Why do I have that easiness to talk to the spirits and the spirits talk to me? Why am I doing this? So it is essentially, as they were, the gospel according to Spiritism is saying, it's transitory. So if you're not doing something that you are supposed to be doing, what's going to happen to your mediumship? It's going to be taken away. And if it's taken away, what's going to happen? You're going to be saying something not from the spirit that is communicating with you, but you say something that you think I want to hear. So it's not a real communication. What else do they say? They say that mediumship, however, is neither an art nor a talent, and that is why it cannot be made into a profession. It does not exist except through the concourse of the spirits. The spirit is lacking, there is no longer mediumship. And exploiting mediumship is thus to make use of something that one does not really own. So it's not really mine. It's not really mine to be able to exploit it. Oops, it's here. So, the other question. Should mediums be proud of the work they produce through communications with the spirits? So, if I'm proud, what vice am I exercising here? Pride, right? This is the worst vice that we can really, as a medium, should be exercising. This is the worst. We should never be proud, first of all, because it doesn't belong to us. If I write something or if I say something, it's not me who is saying or is writing. It's the spirit. So it doesn't belong to me. So I can't take ownership for something that is not even mine. So really, I can't be proud of something that didn't belong to me. And it's, as the Medium's book says, that this pride usually is aroused by those who surrounded them. So if I'm a medium and I'm a psychographic, or I bring a beautiful message from a spirit, Márcio can come to me and he can say, Sandra, that was such a beautiful message. And then I start getting, oh, wow, I got a beautiful message. I didn't get anything. But then Jo can come to say to me, wow, look at this. Usually you take forever to write something and you ask me 3 times or 4 times, is this the right way? Should it be? Can you correct here and there? And you just wrote with, so fast and didn't even ask me. It's so perfect. It's not. But I could say, oh yeah, look at me, but it has nothing to do with me. So the people who are with the other mediums should be very cautious what they say to the other medium who is getting this. We should be helping each other, not giving them praise. Not because we are here, and as we are going to say, we are just merely instruments of God's messages, and it has nothing to do with us. So as a mediumship group, this is something that we have to really be alert, not be giving each other praises that doesn't even, it's not even, it doesn't belong to that person. The gospel actually this is not the gospel, this is from André Luiz, from the book Conduta Espírita, the Spirit's Conduct. He says, medium must avoid the idea that have responsibilities or mission with great transcendent, must not believe they produce the phenomena, reject the toxic praise, flee the dangers of the absence of self-critique, lack perseverance in doing good, and the vanity of judging oneself invulnerable. I don't know if you ever heard about the book from, it was psychographic by Givaldo Pereira Franco, and it was, the spirit was Manuel Filomeno de Miranda. I love him. If you're mediums like this at the books, Manuel Filomeno de Miranda, he always brings these beautiful books that give us so many alerts on how mediums should be conducting and all of that. So there is a book that is called Path. I'm just making, just a translation. I don't even know if it's translated to English, but the translation would be Path to Liberation. And in this book, there is a medium he was from a very small town, and he brings all the dangers of pride and power and all that could have in people. But specific to this medium is that he was a small town medium, but he was really a medium who would be very working on his moral progress, and he had this very nice benefactor that would work with him. He was doing these great, incredible healings. So he became very, people would go, and very popular. People would come and look for him. And the people from this spirit center said, you know what? You're doing such a great job. You shouldn't be working anymore. We're going to pay for your house. We're going to pay for your food. We're going to pay for everything. So you don't worry. You just focus on your job. What are they doing? What are these people doing to this medium? They're paying, they're paying indirectly, but they are paying. So what's going to happen to him? He wants the good spirits. What's going to happen? They are not going to be attracted to him anymore, because now he became famous. He became so famous that he's now only seeing celebrities and politicians. They are all people that would come to him. He is now in the media, and people are just talking about this guy. So he's now working for money. So all the very good spirits get away from him. They don't have the affinity. He doesn't have the affinity anymore. He's attracting what? People who really, spirits who really wants to feed on his pride, to feed on the things that the medium should be away from the power. Now I have the power. Now I attract these people and everything. So this is what happens when you do not surrender to what is really. So mediums who understand, and that's coming from the gospel, their duty attribute to God the good things they obtain. So if I got a beautiful message, it's not mine. It's coming from God, all of this. It's coming from not from my own personal merit. It's thanks to God for having allowed good spirit to manifest through me. So that's how we should respond. It's not because I'm here and I'm giving these beautiful messages. It doesn't belong to me. I should be thankful to God that I've been receiving this. And if I get criticism by the messages that I'm giving, do not take this as I'm getting this criticism, or I'm not good enough, or why I'm doing this. Take this and look to work more on your own qualities, on some virtues, so you'll be able to attract the good spirits. So how do we attract the good spirits? How can we attract the good spirits? In the gospel according to Spiritism, they say all those who know the conditions in which good spirits communicate and their aversion for anything that may have a self-interest, and who know how little it takes to keep them away, can never believe that high order spirits are at the disposal of the first person who comes along. So how can we attract? We can attract by really exercising the virtues that we have. We have to be more humble. We have to be selflessness. We have to really be more benevolent towards each other, help each other, work on charity, doing all that. This is how we are really attracting the good spirits, because we are vibrating. We have that affinity with the good spirits. Does the medium spirits influence the communication from other spirits? So does my spirit influence the message that I'm receiving from the spirit? Yes, of course. Of course it does. Because we have our own material, right? But if my ideas, if I don't have the affinity with that spirit that is communicate with me, and I don't agree with them, what I'm going to do? I'm going to say what I think. I'm going to say what I believe it's to be true. But is that going to influence the spirit who is giving the message? No, not at all. They still know what the message. They still want to keep knowing their own message. But I can't influence. I'm just going to be a bad interpreter of that spirit. He's still going to keep the message for that he has to give to us. Maybe he'll find a different spirit, a different medium, that is more balanced. So that's what happens sometimes when a spirit comes and he can't find an affinity with a medium. He will come and he will be talking to, if he doesn't seem, the medium doesn't seem to grasp what he has to say, he'll get somebody else the next time. He'll look for somebody who will give the message that he wants to bring for us. And in the medium's book, they say, where medium's moral influence truly makes itself felt is when they substitute their own personal ideas for those that the spirits attempt to suggest through them. And that's what I just said. So they are going to be looking then for somebody who is different. So the next question that I want to ask you: do certain spirits prefer certain mediums? I think we just answered that. They will prefer, it's just like us, right? So I prefer to hang out with people that has more or less the same affinities with me, you know, the same taste, the same things, we like the same thing, we like to talk about something that is the same thing that we want to exchange. I'm a grandmother, I want to talk with other grandmothers. Oh, we're going to talk about babies and everything. Or I'm not a mother, I want to hang out with girls that don't have little kids, you know, or whatever. It's the same interest. That's why certain spirits prefer certain mediums, because they have that knowledge, that affinity. Not only that, sometimes certain spirits, they come and they can see our everything that we have in our minds, not only the affinities, but they can see all the information from our, maybe from not from that life, but from past lives. So for example, if I am a clergyman and I wanted to bring a message here, I'm going to look for a medium who already has that in his unconscious mind, you know, all that knowledge of what is to be a priest, for example, you know. So I'm going, why? Because he will understand what I have to say. He will not only understand what I have to say, but he will feel what I have to say. We're going to be feeling the same way. So I can choose one that is close to what I, you know, to my experiences and my knowledge, so he can pass the message in a more pure way. Not exactly, not perfectly, but in a more what I have to say. The message, the main message is going to be passed on. So that's why they look for certain mediums. In the mediums book, they say they look for the interpreter who best sympathizes with them and transmit their thoughts most precisely. Okay? So the other question that we want to ask is the development of mediumship related to the medium's moral development? Of course. Do you think? Do you think it has to do? Of course or no?
Yes.
No. Why? Because the faculty of being a medium is organic. So I come in this lifetime, in this life, you know, in this incarnation, with all my organic body ready to be a medium, because I chose to be a medium. So I have my eyes are more ready to be, if I can see spirits, or my ears to hear spirits, they are being all prepared to see or to work, or my hands, or my, you know, psychophonic message, if I'm a psychophonic medium, whatever it is, the body, the organic body is ready. But what they're saying that independent of the morality. So a medium can be a medium even if they don't have a good moral standards. What does not apply though, which it can be good or bad according to the medium's character. So if I don't have, my moral self is not very, you know, if don't have a moral, or if I'm not if I don't have dignity as a person or anything like that, what's going to happen? I'm going to be attracting what kind of spirits. So the communication can be good or can be bad according to my own personal merits. So that's why it's so important to mediums to be constantly studying, working on their moral progress. Because it's not good enough for me to come here on Tuesdays and on Monday I'm going to say, oh, today I'm going to be good, I won't be drinking because I know on Tuesday I have a mediumship group, or today it's Monday, tomorrow I can't do anything wrong, I can't think anything wrong. Because if you are a medium, you are a medium 7 days a week. So it's working on your moral standards is that makes you a good medium. It's that makes you attract the good spirits to you. That's going to come to you. And when I say to you, it's not as a medium, it's also as a person. I remember that Givaldo Franco once said that, people would come to him and would say, Givaldo, please help me. I have this obsessor. Take him away from me. And then Givaldo would say, okay, and then where I'm going to put him? I'll take him away and I'm going to put him where? So we as, what is he saying is that the obsessor is still going to stay there. We have to change, and once we change, we're going to change those obsessors too. Either because they don't have nothing, like, oh, I don't want to be with her anymore, like I'm not affecting her or him the way I thought I was going to be, or because they also change by our changes. So that's how you get away from some obsessors. We have here every Wednesday and Thursday, we have the fraternal meeting that we call. It's when somebody is going through some, problems in their lives or something. You come here and you talk to one of us. And people would say, please, I don't want to have this in my life anymore. We have to change. Because if we don't change, all this will continue be coming to us. It's almost like they are forcing us in a way that if we don't change, the same thing is going to happen over and over and over again until the day that we truly are changing. And then if we change, we're not going to be attracting. It's about everything. It's not about only the spirits. We'll be attracting different people towards us because that is the affinity that is coming to us now. I'll be attracting people who want good things, or who wants to progress morally, or who wants good things. I can't be attracted to people who, frivolous people, or people who doesn't do anything good in their lives, or who just wants to be talking badly about other people, or who's always negative. They're only, saying bad things about their lives. Because bad things happen to us, of course. That's why we are here, to learn with the not good things that happen to us. In the end, they are all going to be good things because they force us in any way to, look for the good things that we all have inside of us. It's that little seed of all the goodness that God gave us when He created us. So that will make us, because we can't stand suffering. Nobody can stand suffering for a longer period of time. So there is a moment that we say, okay, enough is enough. And if I can't find ways, I have to find within myself. I have to look for that strength within myself. And once I start changing, everything starts changing around me. The people, the things, the relationships, not only with the incarnates, but also with the discarnate spirits. We can hear now our guardian angel, our mentor, our guide, we can hear them now more clearly to go through that path. Do not go on that path. We can hear them, because all that filters that we had before, all the bad filters that we put, either can be a bad one or can be fear sometimes. I won't make a new relationship, so I'm just going to stay here. I won't be relating to people. Or I won't be meeting, I can't relate to these people, so let me just be here with the people that I know already. So forcing us, the sufferings or the pain that we go through life, forces us to look for that balance, that peace that we all need to be able to grow. So here he also says that pride has led the loss of many mediums gifted with the most beautiful faculties. And we hear about so many of these mediums, especially the ones in Brazil that we hear, oh my God, they were going such a beautiful path, and all of a sudden, oh, do not call that person to your spirit center. So why not? Oh no, he's being affected by fascination. And fascination is that it's almost like a narcissism that some of us, and we are all of us, we are open to get this. That's why we need to really to watch. The phrase that Jesus says, watch and pray. We should be always on our toes and see what's happening, because a little power can make us change. A little one. And then we kind of like, oh, I'm being, somebody is saying that about me, or oh, look how nice that is, and that can grow very, very fast. So as Jesus says, be the last one so you can be called to the front. Be humble. Work with this. And pride is one of the worst vices that we can have, especially mediums, because when they are proud, they are easy targets for those spirits who really do not want them to become a clear voice of the message of God. So when they are proud, and if they start because they start doing this, they come to you and say, hey, tell Sandra, how good her message was. Oh, here, tell Sandra that I loved her last psychographic message. Oh, that's what they do. They come to the other ones and they tell us what we should be doing. To do what? To foment that pride in us. It gets to a point that I'm now, floating above everybody else. And when I do that, I'm going to get away from the good spirits, from the high order spirits, because they have nothing to tell us. Because if he brings us a message, I'm not going to listen to them. I want somebody who brings a message that you are going to like the message, not the one that everybody should be hearing. So when that happens, we have to really be watching and praying the whole time. The person who wants to be a good medium should be always praying to have their both foot on the feet on the floor. You can't just be, thinking that you're, oh, now I'm doing this, I'm so comfortable, oh my God, look at me. No. You can really be a bad instrument if you do that. So, are we mere instruments then? In the medium's book, they say, even though mediums are merely instruments with regards to execution, they nevertheless exert a large moral influence, because communicating spirit identified with the medium spirits. I think we talk about this, about that. And also he's talking about the qualities. What is the qualities that the mediums have that will attract the good spirits. Goodness, benevolence, simplicity of heart, love for one's neighbor, and detachment from material things. And the defects that repel the good spirits: pride, selfishness, envy, jealousy, hate, greed, sensuality, and all the passions that keep humans attached to matter. So, when do higher odd spirits present themselves? In the same book that I was talking about, the Divaldo Franco, Path to Liberation, they were talking about this same medium. So he became he was very famous, and now he's in a different place. He's in the city. He's not in the small town anymore. And there was this old lady, and he knew him when he was still working with his benefactor. He was still doing all the healings, because he became such a bad medium that even people died through his influence, died in a way that he was performing some kind of surgery and people actually died. So, but she truly believed in him, because she remembered him as this good medium who was doing all the healing. And she had a daughter, and her daughter was really sick, and she had looked everywhere for help, and she couldn't find any help. So she thought, hey, you know what, I should remember. And she has such a faith in Jesus and his healings. She was so faithful to Jesus that she thought, you know what, Jesus is going to help me. He is going to help me. And she was a very good woman. She was a very humble. She had all the virtues that I was talking about. She was good. She was benevolent. She was simple of heart, and she was really, so she had this huge faith in Jesus especially. So she went to him. So when she went there, she said, I truly believed in him. And because she was there, and although in the book Manuel Filomeno de Miranda, he described the place, which was all, you can imagine, when you're working with your pride, and when you're working with all of this, all bad spirits and not very good spirits were working with him. So she described this, and this old lady with her daughter who was really sick, and she came to him, and she said, and when she came with him, in that place, what she brought with her? She brought all these beautiful spirits, because she wasn't coming along. Whatever you do, you bring with you the spirits that comes with that has affinity with you. So she gets there, and she says, I really need your help, and as soon as she comes in, the benefactor, the old benefactor of that spirit, you know what he did? He worked through him. He came back, and he did operate his daughter, and she did regain her health. So, what is Manuel Filomeno de Miranda saying here? That although the ambience and the place could be bad for the mediums, one person can change that place too, if you bring your good and vibrations with you, and if you're not alone. So let's see what the medium's book says. As a general rule, that similar spirits attract each other, and that groups of highly evolved spirits rarely communicate through bad conductors when they have good mediumistic apparatuses at their disposal. In other words, good mediums. So he's saying here that frivolous and little serious mediums therefore bring what? Bring banality, frivolous and truncated ideas with them for the mediums. So talking about the Spirit Center, do the surrounding in which mediums work exert any influence of the manifestation? I just talked about that with you when I gave the example of the mediums who that lady who changed the whole place. So Kardec also asked the spirits in the medium's book, can't high order spirit overcome the ill will of incarnate spirits who serve as their interpreters and also overcome the ill will of other spirits around them? Yes. Whenever they deem it useful to do so, and according to the intent of the person who addresses them. We have already said highly evolved spirits can sometimes communicate to provide special assistance despite the imperfection of the medium and their surroundings. So this is exactly the slide that I illustrated with the lady who came to that spirit. Here they are asking that do high order spirit attempt to be in frivolous meeting back to the field of more serious ideas? And I brought the Ouija board club. This was very common in the 1800s. Still, some people, they always play with that, like they think this is a fun thing. Not anymore, but in the 70s was very, very common. But you still hear people saying, you talk to the spirits? We do that too. We use the Ouija board. So, if you're doing this, if you don't prepare, because, the spirit, going back to the Spirit Center, this is a place that we all are, protected here in a way that here we do our prayers, we prepare the ambience. It's like, if a doctor needs to do a surgery, is he going to do it in the middle of the street or on a beach? He won't be doing that. He needs what? He needs a sterile place to be. So the Spirit Center is the same thing. You can't have like help other spirits, because also the Spirit Center, during the mediumistic meetings that we have, we are here to do what? To do charity with the spirits. The spirits, sometimes they are lost, they don't even know that they passed. So they come here and we help them, because this is a place that they still need incarnated person to talk to them, because they can't hear the spirits. They still believe that they are incarnated, so they can't hear or see the spirits. So they needed to be brought here by other spirits so they can listen to what we need to say, so they can hear and they can understand their current position, that they don't have a body anymore. They still feel the body, right? They feel the perispirit. It's exactly like their body. So that's why a spirit's house is very, very important for us to be helping them. So we can't do this any place. We can just go in my house and say, okay, let's Vera and some come to a group and say, okay, Vera, let's talk to the spirits here. Let's ask them some questions. We can't. We need to have a prepared place for that. So the spirits can also come. It's not like every time. That's why we need to have a date, a certain date, and a certain day of the week, and a certain time of the week that we have our meetings. So the spirits, they know that this is the time for them to come. We can just, come here at the time of the lecture. Okay, let's have after everybody leaves. Let's have no. They are busy too. The spirits are busy, so they have their own stuff. And they need also to do their own schedule, like it's not for any reason that the spirits come here. They have schedule even to bring the spirits here. So everything is very organized. Everything needs to have an order. When When a spirit center is not very organized, like when you go, when you see, oh, even the people, they don't understand each other, something is not quite right. So you need to have that in order for things to work well. So the Ouija board, what kind of spirits do you think it's going to go there? You know, spirits who wants just to play, to be frivolous, or to, you know, just to... But in a spirit center, a serious meeting is therefore not always sufficient for receiving elevated communications. There are individuals who never smile, and yet their hearts could not be pure. It's not because you are a serious person that you are, you know, a pure person. More than anything else, it is the heart that attracts the good spirits. No moral condition impedes spirit communication per se, but if our moral conditions are bad, we will communicate with those who are similar to us. We can thus see the enormous influence of the surroundings upon the nature of the intelligent manifestation. Throughout this work that I've done, it's almost a mantra, you know, they keep repeating the same thing, repeating. So this is something that we really need to understand. It's our thoughts that attract to us the good or the bad influences, not only when we are discarnated or when we are incarnated. It's the same thing. How is the saying? My mother used to say, you know, tell me who you're hanging with and I'll tell you who you are. And this is so true, you know, and it's the same thing. So we really, so whenever we have a bad thought, you know, stop and think about that bad thought. Because you own your thoughts. They don't come and they go. You own those thoughts. So if they're coming to you, there must be a reason. You know, there must be a reason. So if they come to you, oh, why am I having this kind of thoughts? You know, what is this? What's happening here? You know, or look at Marcio. He cut his hair. Yeah, it's nice. His hair is nice. Oh no, it's not nice. So why am I having this kind of thoughts? You know, why does that thought is trying to tell me that Marcio is looking better now, or that Marcin is not looking better? And if the medium has any doubt in how he should be, you know, understanding these thoughts or this, just think and use Jesus as your guide and your model. Would Jesus be doing this? You know, of course, we are not perfect. I'm not saying here that we should be putting ourselves like Jesus. But will that be something that Jesus would approve? You know, if I do this, would Jesus approve? If I'm bad-mouthing someone, is that a nice thing, a right thing to do? Especially inside a place that is a spiritual house, you know? I don't think so. No? So use him as somebody who will guide you. Use your rational thought, you know, to say, okay, I really do not want to hear this. So what should I do? If it's a spirit who wants to take you from the right path, you know, he be bringing other different things. So you just go back onto the right path. Elevate your thoughts to a prayer, you know, and do a prayer. We should be doing more. We should be using more of that beautiful instrument that connects us to the goodness. Usually we only pray or we only talk to our guardian angel, our guide, if we have a problem. If we have a problem, we look for them, you know, we pray, oh please God help me, I'm going through this and this. And we should be praying every day. When we wake up, oh, thank God that, I had a good night's sleep and I'm awake. How many people die during their sleep? I'm here. I have one more day of opportunities to become a better person or to do good, Or in the morning, at the end of the day, just go through the little list that St. Augustine gave us, What do I do that, and your conscience is going to tell you, oh, maybe you shouldn't have done that. Or maybe you should, oh, good that you did this, this is wonderful that you did that. So doing this, it's silly, but it's doing these little things, it's gonna keep your feet on the floor, and it's gonna help you on that path of goodness that we all want to achieve in our lives, that we all want to be a better person. And being a better person, you're gonna be attracting better people, incarnate or discarnate, towards you. I think this is all I had to say for today. So I think we're gonna open now for questions, right, Marcio?
Yes. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. So if anyone have any questions, please, anyone in the internet, we have Carlos that can tell us the question or comments. Any comment? Joe, you said you always have a comment. Do you have one? Yeah, go ahead.
This João de Deus, he's very famous and people go everywhere. So how he keeps his pride away, or like how he eats or how he lives, I have no idea. How he sustains himself.
I do not know much about him other than he is a celebrity medium. He is. Oprah went to see him. She was there. When he came here to Canada, I think 3 or 4 years ago, he attracted a lot of people. He is not a spiritist. I think he is more a spiritualist. That being said, I really do not know, because what he does, from what I understand, he does the healing, right? The healing on people. So people get cured, or people do not get cured, but people do not get through their own homework of getting their moral and their own transformation. If that doesn't happen, maybe they will get cured of something in this lifetime. Maybe that they were cured because now they are open up for a spiritual part of themselves, and this is a good thing. So I'm not saying that he's not a good medium. I'm just saying that has nothing to do with the work that we do here. I think maybe he has his merits, and maybe he's waking up a part of a population that it was sleeping for their own spiritual self, and that's a great thing. But as a spiritist, I think it lacks in him the fact that he would be opening people for the work that they have to do in this lifetime, that is work on their inner transformation. That's the only thing I can say about him.
It's an interesting question, because we live at a materialistic state as human beings still. We're at our stage of evolution, we rely on material things, and we rely on money, right? So money is not an evil thing. And when the question was, can it be a profession, right? It doesn't mean that mediums can't receive donations. What it's trying to say is that the medium should not portray himself as doing the work in exchange of money. So you take mediums like João de Deus, Divaldo. These are mediums that have their charitable organizations, and do they encourage people to donate money If we think and we look at him and says, this is a marvelous work he's doing, he needs to be supported. I'm not giving him money because he is doing mediumship work for me in exchange of that. I'm doing this because he is a good person, his work is meaningful, it's important, and it's the charity I want to support. And often, mediums have to really be careful with that line. Givaldo psychographs books. Books are sold. There's money being made. Right? Is this the purpose of his life? No. His mission is to bring the message. If the sale of the book that benefits 100% his charitable organization is important, then it's a benefit that comes out of his sacrifice. Now, you have to be careful because sometimes the medium tries to be kind of okay with that, but people who surround them suddenly start to feel the power or the goodness of the money that they're making. And they start to take advantage of that. But that's what we are. That's the level of imperfection that we are as human beings. That's why mediums are not expected to be saints or angels or perfect. Nobody on this earth is close to being perfect. But if you have a medium that advertises, I will read your future for $20, then that has become a profession, right? And they are asking, demanding that I will do my work if I get paid. That's the thing that Kardec wanted to make very clear. And it separated Spiritism from spiritualism.
Mm-hmm.
Because the spiritualists see no problem in having mediumship as a profession.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
No?
All right, so thank you very much,
Thank
Sandra.
you.
Vamos agora se preparar para o passo, a gente vai chamar... Oh, sorry. Let's get prepared for the passes. Thank you very much for those who's watching us for the internet. I think we disconnect now.
Você tem mais opções?